Will Byers was never meant to be the hero of the story. He wasn't the strongest, the loudest, or the bravest in the traditional sense. He was just a quiet boy who loved drawing, who found comfort in small things, and who wanted nothing more than to feel safe in his own world. But sometimes, life doesn't target the strongest, it targets the softest. From the very beginning, Will's story is not about adventure, but about survival. While others in his group experienced excitement, growth, and even romance, Will experienced something far darker, something that changed him forever. He didn't just witness horror, he lived inside it. The night he disappeared into the Upside Down was not just a plot twist, it was the beginning of a lifelong trauma. A child being ripped away from reality and thrown into a world of darkness, isolation, and fear is not something anyone simply gets over. And yet, that's exactly what the world expected him to do. Even after he was rescued, Will was never truly brought back. His body returned, but parts of him remained trapped, haunted by memories, visions, and a connection he never asked for. He became a bridge between two worlds, forced to carry a burden no one could fully understand. Will Byers' story is tragic not because he suffered once, but because he never stopped suffering. His pain is quiet, invisible, and often overlooked, which makes it even more heartbreaking. 1. He was taken when he was most vulnerable. Will wasn't prepared. He wasn't strong. He wasn't even aware of what danger looked like. That night, he was just a child going home, and within moments, his entire life was ripped away from him. There's something deeply cruel about how sudden it was. No warning. No chance to fight back. Just fear, confusion, and darkness swallowing him whole. For a child, that kind of experience doesn't just scare you, it breaks your sense of safety forever. The Upside Down wasn't just a place, it was a nightmare. Every second there was a fight for survival. Every sound meant danger. Every moment meant fear. And Will had to face all of it alone. What makes it worse is that he had no understanding of what was happening. Imagine being trapped somewhere terrifying, not knowing if anyone is coming for you, not even knowing if you'll ever see your family again. That kind of helplessness doesn't fade. It stays, shaping how you see the world long after the danger is gone. 2. He was alone in a world that wanted him dead. Isolation is one of the most painful things a human can experience, and Will faced it at its absolute worst. No friends. No family. No comfort. Just silence and fear. The Upside Down wasn't just empty, it was hostile. It felt alive in the worst way possible. Like something was always watching him, always hunting him. And he had no one to turn to. Being alone like that changes you. It forces you to grow up too fast. To become your own protector, even when you're too young to understand how. There were no moments of relief for him. No safe space. No escape. Just constant survival mode, where every second mattered. That level of isolation leaves scars that don't heal easily. Even after returning, a part of him remained alone, because no one could truly understand what he went through. 3. He became a host, not just a survivor. Coming back should have been the end of his suffering, but it wasn't. Instead, it became a new beginning of pain. Will didn't just escape the Upside Down, he brought it back with him. The mind flayer didn't just target him, it claimed him. It used his body, his mind, his existence as a tool. Imagine losing control over yourself. Watching your own body betray you. Feeling something inside you that doesn't belong. That's not just fear, that's a complete loss of identity. Will became a victim in a way that's hard to even describe. He wasn't just hurt physically or emotionally, he was invaded. And even after it was over, the feeling of not being fully in control of himself never truly left him. 4. He was never truly understood. People cared about Will, but they didn't fully understand him. How could they? His experiences were too extreme, too different. While others moved on, Will was still stuck. Still feeling things no one else could see. Still haunted by memories that didn't fade. He often stood quietly in the background, watching life move forward without him. Watching his friends grow, change, fall in love, while he stayed the same. That kind of emotional distance is painful. Not because people don't love you, but because they can't reach you. And Will needed to be understood more than anyone. 5. His childhood was taken from him. Childhood is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be filled with laughter, imagination, and innocence. Will didn't get that. Instead of memories of joy, he has memories of fear. Instead of growing naturally, he was forced into trauma. Even when things went back to normal, he couldn't go back to being a kid. That version of him was gone. He held on to things like drawing and playing games, not because he didn't want to grow up, but because he lost the chance to do it properly. And that loss is something you can never get back. 6. He felt left behind by his friends. As his friends grew older, they changed. They developed new interests, new priorities, new relationships. But Will didn't. He stayed emotionally stuck, not because he wanted to, but because trauma held him there. While others moved forward, he felt like he was being left behind. That feeling is heartbreaking. Watching the people you love slowly drift away, even if they don't mean to. He wasn't just dealing with monsters, he was dealing with loneliness in his own friend group. And sometimes, that hurt more. 7. His pain was quiet and overlooked. Will wasn't loud about his suffering. He didn't express it in obvious ways. He kept it inside. And because of that, people didn't always see how much he was hurting. The quiet ones often suffer the most, because their pain doesn't demand attention, it hides. Will smiled, stayed silent, and tried to fit in, even when he was breaking inside. And that kind of silent suffering is one of the most painful forms of all. 8. He struggled with his identity. Will's journey isn't just about monsters, it's also about understanding himself. There are hints throughout his story that he feels different. That he doesn't fully belong. That there are parts of him he doesn't know how to express. Growing up is already confusing. But doing it while carrying trauma and feeling out of place makes it even harder. He didn't just feel disconnected from the world, he felt disconnected from himself. And that internal struggle adds another layer to his pain. 9. He remained connected to the darkness. Even after everything, Will was never fully free. He could still feel it. Sense it. The connection never truly broke. It's like living your life knowing that the thing that hurt you could come back at any moment. That constant awareness creates anxiety, fear, and emotional exhaustion. He didn't just survive the upside down, he became tied to it. And that's a burden no one should have to carry. 10. He loves deeply, even when it hurts. Despite everything, Will never stopped loving. His loyalty, his care, his emotional depth, they never disappeared. But sometimes, loving deeply means feeling more pain. He cared about his friends, even when he felt left out. He stayed, even when he felt unseen. That kind of love is beautiful, but also heartbreaking. Because he gave so much, while receiving so little understanding in return. Will Byers' story is not about defeating monsters, it's about living with them. Not all battles are loud, and not all scars are visible. Some of the deepest pain exists in silence. He represents the people who survive, but are never the same again. The ones who smile, who stay quiet, who continue living, but carry something heavy inside. In a world full of heroes and dramatic transformations, Will's story stands out because it's real. It's raw. It's human. He wasn't the chosen one. He wasn't the strongest. But he endured. And sometimes, that's the hardest thing of all. And maybe that's why his story hurts so much, because somewhere, in some way, we see a part of ourselves in him.